Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about Zenkaiger episode 5. Now this is all raw there and there's no subtitles, so I'm going off what is mainly going on. So if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And let's jump straight into it as I finger snap that. I don't know why. Let's begin. So this episode kind of opens up, and this episode I'm going to be mainly going on is that Kaito has heard that his parents are dead or they're missing, and the fact is that they went into this other world and Kaito wants to go and try and find them. So he's trying to find ways into the enemy's base, etc, etc. And from when you look mainly over at what's going on, I think Vrun turns around and says, yeah, they've gone. Like, you know, they were helping, but unfortunately they've passed on, which then causes Kaito not to be able to sleep. And I love the fact that you see his room, and one thing when looking at this, I loved it because we see that Vrun takes his glasses off, puts them on the side, and everyone's sleeping in his room. Even like Guy was like together, you know, he's doing what a cat would do. And then obviously you've got Jiren, who is pretty much just starfishing. He's starfishing most of the time. After the news, Kaito has gone on, has actually, you know, he's talking to his nan and his grandma, and I think they're kind of talking about what's going on, and that's when Kaito has this realization of, hey, we need to get into this entire world so I can at least save them, or find out what's going on, because maybe if they have passed on, he doesn't want to believe it, but if they are trapped, he wants to go and save them, and that's the whole premise from what I kind of see in this one. Now, I'm guessing the big bad of the series knows what's going on, or, you know, he wants to know why the others aren't winning in this particular match. Why aren't they actually defeating? Why are they stuck where they are? And I think this is when he gets really angry and just therefore like sends out more monsters. Now, this episode is very silly and I really like it, to be fair. I think that it works so well. The monster is a sushi monster, so we're going to guess he's called Sushi World or from Sushitopia, something like that. And with this, he has decided to turn people into sushi, or the main element of, like, you know, when sushi's wrapped up together, it sticks. So like he's putting people in the park, like, onto the swings and onto the slides, as well as onto any kind of flat surface, because again, he is literally trying to make sushi, etc, etc. And I love this. I love the fact that this entire whole episode is just a silly episode, and I would love to see more on this. Kind of like skipping ahead before we meet the monster, Kaito and everyone is trying to find a way into the portal. Vrum says, oh, here you go, this is how you get in. You know, this is what, you know, it looks like there is a portal here. So Kaito uses Jiren and Gaion to kind of jump on to kind of like into this portal, but it doesn't work, and he falls down because, you know, gravity's a thing. It's very interesting to see how in previous episodes Kaito is very held back, but in this one he wants to morph. He wants the monster to obviously take him to the other realm or into the bad guy's base, because he thinks that obviously he could save his parents or find out about his parents, and thus therefore goes on the attack straight away. This causes Jiren to morph as well and transform and kind of go on the attack, while the others help the people trapped and, you know, stuck, and trying to pull them off, but unfortunately it doesn't work. They are completely stuck on there and there's nothing that they can do. The main premise of what happens from now until the kind of main scene at the end is Kaito and Jiren are turned into sushi, basically. You know, they've been wrapped around on a park bench, and that's it. There's nothing that they can do. They can't escape. They've demorphed, and then obviously the monster runs away. Sushi monster runs off. The others try to kind of talk about what's going on, and they go back to the main, like the sweet shop, the cafe. And as soon as this happens, is they talk about how sushi is kind of made, what they can kind of do, and it mainly progresses on. We see that Kaito starts talking about, I'm guessing, his family, his past, how he is to Jiren, and Jiren kind of opens up. So the bonding is there. One thing, strange reason, is before the sushi monster disappears beforehand, just spurts goo all over them for no reason, just goo on them, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's the special sauce. Kaito and Jiren figure out what they've got to do. We've had the others luring the sushi monster by making sushi and saying, hey, come over here, you want to smell it. Now either it's going to be two things, is he loves the smell or he wants to put them out of business, so therefore they go on the attack. Now I do like this. Now I'm guessing the Sentai gear that they use is from Kira Major, but it's the Lucky Red Ranger, so I'm guessing it's Lucky. So what happens is we have this whole kind of formula where Kaito and Jiren get knocked onto like the street. No, they roll down a hill, then they get into a car, then the car drops them off. They get attached by balloons. They fly over to where the fight's going on, and this bird comes, or this fake bird comes out of nowhere, pops all the balloons, which then causes them all to, or both of them, to fall down and hit. And I absolutely loved it. I was like, it's the right amount of silly, but it's silly nonetheless. Now, in the meantime, before Kaito joins them, the others are fighting. They've morphed. They're fighting the monster, and then I can't remember the general's name. If you know, pop it in the comments down below. He comes out of nowhere and starts attacking, and the other three, Majin, Vroom, and Gaon, can't handle this whatsoever. So they obviously start losing the fight. Vroom in this literally goes for him. He wants to attack. He wants to go for it, and I like this because I feel like this is something where, you know, it's needed. Like, I can see a lot of anger from Vroom. They wants to kind of take him down, and that's going to be the main premise of this, which is absolutely fine. I love the camera angles in this. The camera angles are always amazing when it comes to it, because I imagine it's a drone. Now, it's not HD footage, so when they actually make footage that can do that, I really love the fact that this drone goes in and out to parts where obviously you can't do it. So to the stuntmen on this, holy crap, you guys are absolutely amazing in this. The sushi monster grows up. The others are about to kind of transform and actually get into their kind of respected modes to actually to turn into a Megazord or Mecha. But then the Sushi Tron or Sushi World grabs the kind of the image and kind of like breaks it down into like a thing, and then turns them into kind of sushi platters. So they're going around. But one thing I really did generally like in this is when the sushi monster actually picks up stuff from his kind of sushi stall, he throws it at Kaito. Now, I don't know if this is normally in Sentai, but I love the fact that these giant objects were causing massive damage to the area and causing Kaito to kind of jump about. I absolutely loved that because I felt like it was a good way of using the props rather than just be there on kind of display. Kaito then uses the rear soldier soul, gets the sword, and then jumps up and actually smashes and destroys part of the conveyor belt, which I love the fact that you hear the rear soldier type effect, which is like rear soul or something, and it just cuts through it. Thus, therefore, letting the others kind of get free, they turn big, they transform into their proper Zords, they combine, and thus, therefore, they take down the monster, and it's done very quickly. Now, this is interesting because I didn't see Kaito do this. He jumps on the main bad guy's back, the general, and I'm guessing he kind of talks and says, hey, I want to come and see your world, and this guy goes, nope, it can't happen, you can't come here whatsoever, which therefore, when he walks through the portal, it kind of explodes and pushes Kaito back. So I'm guessing maybe it's like no organics or no organic type people come in. And do you know what? I like that. It felt like it wasn't just oh, I'm going to knock you off so you can try harder. It's you can't come into this world whatsoever. And that is what I think is a really good thing. Why am I doing that? I don't know. But I think it's cool. I like this sort of element because it feels like it's not just going to be an easy thing for Kaito to get his parents back or find out what happened to them. Now, the kind of end part is that everyone's eating and that's it. You don't really need to know. But it's when it's Rude or T-Rude, when it looks like he's creating something. So either he's looking into the gears himself to create something better, or maybe evil characters himself of evil Sentais. I think like it's good. Now it's going to be interesting because I want to watch this subbed, and I'm going to talk about it more subbed on the Sentai Roundup that's coming up soon. But I really like this episode. It's silly to the point where you know it's silly, but it was funny, and that's what I'm kind of taking away from this. It gives you kind of more answers to what's going on. You want to know like what happened to Kaito's parents, and also you want to know what happened at the end because it's a very like kind of sneaky thing. I generally really like this episode. This is, I think, one of my favorite episodes of the entire series so far. Obviously, it's only the 5th one, but like the other ones I've kind of liked, but this one I liked on a different level, and it felt like a natural series, so I liked it. So that's my kind of thoughts on it. What do you think? Have you seen this episode yourself? What would you say? Do you think I'm right so far? Because hey, we don't know what's happening because we haven't got subtitles. But from what you've seen of the episode, what did you think of it? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。